our roots that hold when everything turns dark and cold. I felt the break, I felt the loss. I've carried tears, I've borne the cross. Yet even when my faith was gone, I found my strength. The night will end, the light will find me once again. For though I fall, I stand alone. Through every How is this even possible? After everything we've been through, life came rushing, broke us down. What did we do so wrong? You changed from day to night. You've never been like this before. I changed, we maybe I never knew who you really are. God didn't leave us, then why am I so sick inside? He can't just leave me like this. No strength to rise, no will to fight. I need my life back again. I need a miracle to You said the world was heavy on your hands, and I believed you. But you never let me carry even a piece, not even the part that broke you. I waited for your eyes to meet mine, but you were looking somewhere far behind the night. And I learned to read your silence like a prayer said with no voice. Sometimes love is not enough, and sometimes truth just comes too late. We learn to live with questions that nobody dares to ask. And now it's just the quiet between us, a bridge we never searching for something I can't name. Roads fade away, horizons break apart. Every mile wastes, every glance falls apart. I expected light at the end, answers on the ground, but all I found was my own heart. And I walk without a map, without a fate, chasing signs that were already with me. The whole world around me, and I couldn't see that what I was searching for was life itself. Towns and villages pass, unknown faces. Every word echoes, every step shared. The weight of silence, the echo of the soul. I seek the sacred, I find the calm. No revelation will change me now. Just a moment, the road and the door. And I walk without a map, without a fate, chasing signs that were already with me. The whole world around me, and I couldn't see that what I was searching for was life itself. I don't need 1,000 journeys, nor blessings from distant altars. The path is in every gesture, in every step, in every moment. chains can't hold this dawn inside. No storm can stay when hearts collide. I am the silent storm, unbound, alive, reborn. The quiet breaks, the thunder wakes, and I become the storm. Tree of life, between the light and shadow, the world changed again. One decision, a path that opened wide. What is lost, what truth will abide? Deep roots hold the time that passed. Every leaf reminds of courage cast. The fruits we taste, bitter too, shows every choice leaves a mark anew. Simple, trace in pain. Tree of life, between the light and shadow, the world changed again. One decision, a path that opened wide. What is lost, what truth will abide? Even when the fall seems near, lessons come softly for hearts night is far above the sleeping hollow. The wind cuts cold beyond the roots of home. In the shadows, eyes that guard old secrets. Hear the world before it wakes again. It isn't renunciation or redemption, it's the habit of simply being. I've learned desire can live inside an endless dream, that the sea can be a memory, and the memory a quiet harbor, that the sun is a map I keep folded within me. And the night became dawn without losing its truth. It opened into 1,000 stained glass hues and gave me another view. I walk with empty hands, but a chest full of sea. I'm a shadow dressed in light, and I learn to love. On the glass, the lights tremble, and I walk unhurried without pain. The city glowing whispers, even a shadow can become color. The scent of coffee lingers in the early morning light, after a night where the world felt too small for the two of us. There's a calm here, a peace I never knew I could feel. And when I open my eyes, you smile, as if the day is already worth living, just because it starts like this. You fought so hard to get this far, never walked away, even when everything seemed to fall apart. And to think that simple, gentle friendship was hiding a love this vast inside it. There is love here, steady like an eternal flame, a light that doesn't waver, even in the winds of pain. You said I saved you, but you're the one who lit a fire I no longer believed in. We still have the whole day ahead of us, and the best part is that we're together. You told me how long you waited to be truly seen, how many times you left behind in the dark. I wasn't different, but when our paths touched, something simply ignited. Not a storm, not an explosion, just two hearts whispering, finally. And now every move you make feels like safe harbor. Every word you speak feels like home. Who would have guessed that shy laughter at the start would become the warmth of all my mornings? There is love here, steady like an eternal flame, a light that doesn't waver, even in the winds of pain. You said I saved you, but you're the one who lit a fire I no longer believed in. We still have the whole day ahead of us, and the best part is that we're together. And if the world grows heavy, I'll hold your hand. If the cold creeps in, your voice will guide me back, because Love is more than destiny. It's choice, it's quiet, it's the flame that never dies. There is love here, soft and everlasting, shining between warm coffee and our dreams on the table. And even if life tries to tear us down, we'll keep standing side by side, rising again. The day has only just begun, and it's perfect because I have you. Sometimes I walk alone through the silence of the city, like someone chasing shadows falling at my feet. And the wind reminds me of the choices I made when I was lost, unsure of who I'd be. And everything I left behind still echoes, but it doesn't hurt the same. Life keeps moving without promises, yet something calls me forward just the same. And when I feel like giving in, the night reveals a light above, as if the future whispered softly, it's not over yet for you. I walk between the certain and the invisible, between the fear and the impossible, between who I was and who I might become. If life can change without a warning, I'll turn each risk into learning. Every step becomes a place where I outrun the shadows I've been fighting. There's still a fire in me. I've lost people, dreams, and direction, and learned that loss is part of being alive. A broken heart still beats for something, growing stronger every time it tries. And even if time won't answer everything, I keep listening to what it says. Uncertainty is the price of courage, one I'll pay to find my way. 'Cause deep inside I know there's a clearer sky behind these clouds. And even if I cannot see it, I'll keep following the sound. I walk between the certain and the invisible, between the fear and the impossible, between who I was and who I might become. If life can change without a warning, I'll turn each risk into learning. Every step becomes a place where I outrun just the way I did before. Every fall has taught me rising. Now I know what I'm standing for. I walk between the certain and the invisible, between the fear and the impossible, between who I was and who I might become. And if the future tries to break me, I'll lift the fire that remade me. Know the flame that burns inside will never fade, 'cause deep within I know, yes, I've always known, there's still a fire in On Sundays, she listens to cheesy pop music. The volume is at maximum. No neighbor can rest. The music can be heard throughout the neighborhood. On Sunday, she smokes marijuana and argues with her husband, argues with her parents. Said she never had anything with him, but they were in the car together. But they talked every day. She said the love was true, but behind his back she flirted with him. He spoke of friendship, but behind his back he cheated, even on his wife. A snake and a scorpion, venoms that neutralize each other, until they find the perfect prey and poison it until it falls. A beautiful snake, a daring scorpion. A daring scorpion. In the beginning she spoke of loyalty, but she wasn't loyal. In the beginning she spoke of love, but it was only to attract the attention You dressed for another, began the game, and when I saw what you did, something broke deep in my soul. Something shattered. You lied, you used people, and I, wounded, lost myself at the hardest moment. I thought you were by my side, but something was poisoned. Love turned to silence and pain, and what was healing became sickness. I loved you, I trusted you, but you weren't sincere. I found out the hardest way, and I fell again. You laughed and you lied again. The last message, everyone knows the truth. You could have ended it before hurting that much. Now I live with nightmares, illness, and memories, but I still hold on to faith. The mustard seed still lives in me. I need to heal. I need to return to life, to never forget again that the ones who say they love can hurt where it hurts the words sounded like truth, promises of love whispered, and she believed, and she loved. Dreams of a life together, family, children, and God. No dream finally realized, but there was something in the air. Why did they say that about him? It doesn't match what he says or does. It would be too cruel if what they said were true. When the bad day arrived, everything was painful. collapsed